It's a good start by Rahmanullah Gurbaz as he drills a cover drive. Ngidi follows up with a dot ball. A lot will depend if Gurbaz gets off to a great start because he is the kind of person who can take the game away from the opposition. That is yet another fine shot by Rahmanullah Gurbaz. He is looking in good nick, and that would be the exactly the kind of start that the Afghans wanted. अगर अफगानिस्तान को ये मैच जीतना है तो रहमानुल्लाह गुरबाज को एक बड़ी पारी खेलनी पड़ेगी. And he is capable of doing that. We have seen that in T20 leagues around the world and also for Afghanistan. पर उनका प्रॉब्लम ये है कि इतने कंसिस्टेंट बल्लेबाज नहीं है वो. पर ये शॉट बढ़िया था. क्विंटन डिकॉक ने पूरी डाइव लगाई लेकिन कुछ नहीं कर सके. Ngidi runs in for his fifth delivery. Rahmanullah Gurbaz faces him, and what a shot that is. Dismissively flicked it towards the leg side. और ये एक बेहतरीन शुरुआत है अफगानिस्तान के लिए. This is exactly what the doctor ordered for Afghanistan. What a flick that was. All the power coming from his forehands and wrists. उन्हें एक बढ़िया पावर प्ले की ज़रूरत है. पहले 6 ओवर में अगर वो 60-65 बना लेते हैं, South Africa will be under tremendous amount of pressure as Ngidi runs in to finish his over. And that will be a dot ball as the first over finishes for 13. The required run rate अफगानिस्तान के लिए है 9.2 and they're cruising along at 13, but it's only the first over, so we'll have to see how the rest of the power play goes. These two play two very different roles. इब्राहिम ज़ादरान एक एंकर का काम करते हैं जो इनिंग्स बिल्डर है और रहमानुल्लाह गुरबाज, he is the destructive partner. Once he sets in and he survives for 20, 25, 30 balls, well, we will see the scoreboard move very fast as Marco Jansen marks his run-up. अपने हाइट के वजह से वो एक ऑकवर्ड बाउंस जनरेट करते हैं मार्को यानसन. ये देखना पड़ेगा कि कितने इफेक्टिव है वो. That's a single in the name of Ibrahim Zadran, who was looking to guide it towards the point boundary, but it was intercepted by the fielder. और अपना खाता खोल लिया है इब्राहिम ज़ादरान ने. And the strike goes back to Rahmanullah Gurbaz, who is looking in a destructive mood, and Afghanistan really, really, really need him to perform his magic today. They have the batting firepower and they bat deep. And they would need all the experience in their ranks if they are to achieve the total today. अगला बॉल एक डॉट बॉल, ऑकवर्ड बाउंस जनरेट करते हैं मार्को यानसन अपनी हाइट की वजह से। 6 फुट 7 इंच की हाइट है मार्को की। ही इज वन ऑफ द टॉलेस्ट इंटरनेशनल क्रिकेटर्स। So far, Gurbaz has looked comfortable on the crease. That one is a six. What a shot that was. That was an uppercut. We rarely see an uppercut these days, but the Afghan innings is up and running as Rahmanullah Gurbaz plays a fantastic uppercut of the bowling of Marco Jansen that is firmly deposited in the stands. What a six that was, and their intentions are very clear. They are not going to go the cautious way. Maybe Ibrahim Zadran will, पर रहमानुल्लाह गुरबाज पूरी तैयारी से आए हैं कि मैं सारे शॉट्स अटेम्प्ट करूंगा. He tried to slash it through the covers, but could not manage it. But again, a misfield by the South Africans allows them to take 2 runs. And that takes the total to 22 for the loss of no wickets with the second over going on. A fine start by Afghanistan. A strong start, a confident start. एक वक्त था जब अफगानिस्तान सिर्फ अपने बॉलिंग के लिए जानी जाती थी, पर अब ऐसा नहीं रहा. उनके पास एक से एक बल्लेबाज मौजूद है. That's a fine leg glance by Gurbaz towards the fielder as he takes a single. अब तक 10 रन आए हैं इस ओवर से. ये टेबल ग्रुप ऑफ डेथ कहा जाता है ये ग्रुप, क्योंकि इसमें तीनों न्यूजीलैंड, साउथ अफ्रीका और अफगानिस्तान है, और तीनों में से सिर्फ दो ही सुपर एट में जा पाएंगे. यूएई और कनाडा भी है, बट अनलेस दे मैनेज टू पुल ऑफ एन अपसेट आई डोंट सी देम रीचिंग द सुपर एट. This is a must win game for Afghanistan, and they will have to play out of their skins to reach the total of 188. And at the end of 2 overs, Afghanistan is at 23 for the loss of 0 wickets. Gurbaz is the aggressor. He is playing on 17 of 10 deliveries. जादरान ने ज़्यादा गेंदें फेस भी नहीं की है वैसे. 2 गेंदें फेस की है उन्होंने और 1 रन आया है. और गुरबाज ने कुछ बढ़िया शॉट खेले हैं. जो उन्होंने अपर कट खेला था, मुझे सचिन तेंदुलकर की याद आई. राइट फ्रॉम द 2003 वर्ल्ड कप व्हेन ही अपर कट शोएब अख्तर फॉर अ सिक्स. दैट शॉट इज स्टिल रीप्लेड. Lungi and Gidi, sorry, that is KG Rabada, and that is yet another uppercut by Rahmanullah Gurbaz. What a fantastic start to the innings. He is on a rampage. That one was more of a slash, but the result was still the same. 2 sixes so far to Gurbaz as the score motors along to 29 for the loss of 0 wickets. And now South of Africa will have to be worried. टेंशन लेना होगा अभी उन्हें, क्योंकि इतना बड़ा भी टोटल नहीं है अहमदाबाद पे. अहमदाबाद इज नोन टू बी अ फ्लैट wicket and a chase of 188 is totally on the cards, and especially with this kind of start. 30 रन उन्होंने बना भी लिया अफगानिस्तान ने पलके झपकते हुए 14 बॉलों में. Zadran on strike. He has not got much of a strike, but he is usually seen to be playing the anchor role, but he is very much capable of scoring at a fast click if his team requires. Rabada steams into ball again, and that one is guided to third man for a single as Gurbaz gets the strike again. गुरबाज अपना मूड बना के आए हैं कि मैं टाइम पास करते नहीं बैठूंगा, या तो इस पार या उस पार. And till now, he has been dictating the terms. 24 from only 12. The next ball is a wide. Is Rabada feeling the pressure? So far, this over has conceded 9 runs from just 3 deliveries, 3 legitimate deliveries, and the score is a very healthy 32 for no loss. This is proving to be a very productive power play for Afghanistan. That's an inside edge played by Gurbaz, intercepted by the fielder for a single. अगर अफगानिस्तान यहाँ 70 रन बना लेते हैं पावर प्ले में, साउथ अफ्रीका के ऊपर बहुत प्रेशर आ जाएगा, क्योंकि उसके बाद अफगानिस्तान को बस सेंसिबली खेलना होगा 8 रन प्रति ओवर लेते हुए. That is a dot ball as Ibrahim Zadran cannot put a bat to ball, but still this over has yielded 10 runs so far. Gurbaz is on 25 from 13, 2 4s and 2 6s. Exactly what the doctor had ordered for Afghanistan. And he is a destructive batsman, and South Africa will have to get him out to put some amount of pressure on Afghanistan. अगर गुरबाज यहाँ पे चल पड़े तो बहुत ही जल्द वो अपने 50 तक पहुंच जाएंगे. Another dot ball from Rabada as the score is 33 for the loss of no wickets. They are powering along at a run rate of 11 with the required run rate of 9. इक्वेशन से आगे है अफगानिस्तान और उनके लिए ये मस्ट विन मैच है. उन्हें ये मैच जीतना ही पड़ेगा क्योंकि न्यूजीलैंड के खिलाफ वो हार गए थे और ये इसे कहा जाता है ग्रुप ऑफ डेथ, क्योंकि साउथ अफ्रीका, न्यूजीलैंड और अफगानिस्तान में से सिर्फ 2 टीमें जाएंगी सुपर 8 में. बट अब अगर आप ग्राफ कंपेयर करें तो अफगानिस्तान अब तक की रेस तो जीत चुका है. द वर्म इज वेरी मच अहेड ऑफ साउथ अफ्रीकन वर्म, और यहाँ पे साउथ अफ्रीका को अपनी टैक्टिक्स चेंज करनी पड़ी एंड दे हैव इंट्रोड्यूस्ड स्पिन वेरी अर्ली. Fourth over, George Lenda comes into bat. Let's see how Gurbaz faces him. There is only one way he was ever going to face him, as that goes inside out for a 6. He welcomes George Lenda with a 6. Zero respect as he moves to 31 of 14. What an innings. Will this prove to be the match-winning innings for Afghanistan? A fantastic chase. अब तक किसी भी परेशानी में नहीं दिख रहे रहमानुल्लाह गुरबाज. George Lende with his gentle left arm spin as he attempts a quick single and gets it. अब तक 3 छक्के मार चुके हैं गुरबाज, and this is proving to be a very productive power play for Afghans. Ibrahim Zadran, he has been quiet on the other end. Oh, that flies off into the air. But it is a dot ball. It bounced before reaching the fielder. इब्राहिम जादरान ने सिर्फ 2 रन बनाए हैं 6 बॉलों में, पर उन्हें यहाँ ज्यादा कुछ करने की जरूरत नहीं है। बस स्ट्राइक दीजिए गुरबाज को। He comes down the track and hits it towards Pedon for a boundary. So he's up and running as well. What a start to the chase. It is looking ominous for South Africa right now. Afghanistan batsmen are running a riot right now with a run rate of 12 runs and over. George Linde comes in for his fifth delivery as Ibrahim plays and misses. इब्राहिम को बस एक शोर संभाल के रखना है, क्योंकि गुरबाज आज एक अलग ही मूड बना के आए हैं। He comes down the track for another hoik over mid-on, and that is 6 runs to Ibrahim Zadran. What an over! That over cost 17 runs. ऐसा पावर प्ले मुझे नहीं लगता मैंने इस वर्ल्ड कप में देखा है अभी तक। 50 runs from only 4 overs। और ऐसे लग रहा था कि अग्रेसर रहमानुल्लाह गुरबाज है, लेकिन अभी इब्राहिम ज़ादरान ने भी कहा कि भाई पार्टी अगर चल रही है तो मैं भी इस पार्टी में जुड़ना चाहूँगा। The run rate of Afghanistan is 12.5 right now, and the required run rate has fallen down to 8.63. What a sensational power play. Lungi Ngidi comes in for his second over, and that's a full toss to Gurbaz, who is taken by surprise and can only guide it to the field for one. अब तक अफगानिस्तान का प्रदर्शन बेहतरीन है। They have exceeded all expectations. उनके लिए ये एक मस्ट विन मैच है, and they are playing it like a must win match. ऐसा लग रहा है कि 188 तक पहुंचने के लिए बहुत उतावले हैं। 15वें ओवर में ही करना चाहते हैं, और उनके पास बहुत वक्त है अभी, और 16 ओवर बचे हैं। He comes down the track and fails to read the slower delivery, and that is out. Ibrahim Zadran is bowled, and he has to go back to the pavilion for a score of 12 as Afghanistan lose their first wicket. It's 51 for 1. That was a very deceptive slower delivery, and Zadran could not read it at all. Ngidi is pumped up, and that is a welcome wicket for South Africa because that game was drifting away from them in the power play. It is still advantage of Afghanistan, as this is a very powerful start to the power play. Let's see if Ngidi can continue with the fine over. The next batsman to join is Gulbadin Naib. गुलबदी नाइब भी अपनी पावर हिटिंग के लिए जाने जाते हैं, और एक चीज़ों के लिए जाने जाते हैं, अपने डोलों के लिए। He never misses an opportunity to flex his biceps. Well, let's see if he gets his chance today. At the other end, Rahmanullah Gurbaz has flexed his biceps already, as he has rocketed his way to 33 of 16 balls. As Gulbadi Naib prepares to take strike, काफी लंबे अरसे से अफगानिस्तान क्रिकेट से जुड़े हुए हैं गुलबदीन। बहुत सारे वर्ल्ड कप खेल चुके हैं, इनके लिए कोई नई बात नहीं है। लेट्स सी हाउ ही मैनेजेस इन दिस पावर प्ले। दैट इज अ वाइड बाय Ngidi, a bonus run for Afghanistan. The score moves to 52 for the loss of one wicket. क्या गुलबदीन अपना अप्रोच चेंज करेंगे? मुझे नहीं लगता कि गुरबाज ज्यादा चेंज करेंगे अपने बैटिंग को। भले ही एक विकेट गिर चुका है, क्योंकि वो अपना मन बना के आए हैं कि मैं यहाँ रन बनाने आया हूँ 200 के स्ट्राइक रेट से। अगर आउट कर पाओ तो आउट कर लो। दैट इज अ फैंटास्टिक cotton ball by Lungi as the second batsman is dismissed for a duck. Gulbadin Naib has to go back for a duck as the score is now 51 for 2. A fantastic recovery by South Africa after being belted to all ends of the park in the first 4 overs. बहुत ही एथलेटिक कॉट एंड बोल्ड था ये, और एक सॉफ्ट डिसमिसल गुलबदीन की तरफ से। पता नहीं वो क्या करना चाहते हैं उस डिलीवरी में। डिफेंड करना चाहते थे, अटैक करना चाहते थे, पर उन्हें अब लौटना पड़ेगा पैवेलियन की तरफ। But on the positive side, Rahmanullah Gurbaz is still batting on 33 for 16. Logie Ngidi taking 2 wickets so far. He's on the list of leading wicket takers in this World Cup. The new batsman at the crease is Sadiqullah Atal, who is also known for his attacking ways. But अभी अफगानिस्तान को थोड़ा सोच समझ के सूझबूझ से काम लेना होगा। That one is a dot ball as Atal guides it towards the fielder. The score still is 51 for 2, and this over has given away only one run. What a fantastic return catch by Lungi Ngidi. दूसरे नंबर पे है सर्वाधिक विकेट्स के टेबल पे लुंगी एंगीडी, और पहले है वैन शाल्कविक यूएसए से, as he runs into bowl his last delivery, and that is a dot ball as well. What a fantastic game changing over this is. However, Rahmanullah Gurbaz is yet to be dismissed, and he has looked at his destructive best, and he has to be at the crease for another 7 to 8 overs if Afghanistan are to make a match of it. अगर गुरबाज यहाँ 50 क्रॉस करके 70-80 बना लेते हैं कम से कम, अफगानिस्तान ये टोटल आराम से चेज कर पाएगी। However, there have been 2 wickets back to back, and that has kind of arrested the momentum of Afghanistan. They were rampaging along at 12 runs and over. Before that, Ngidi over came in and put a spoke through the wheels. KG Rabbada returns for his second over, bowling to Gurbaz. And he has not changed his approach at all. He was looking to loft it over the fielders, but could only manage a single this time, as that was a miss hit. The next ball will be faced by Sadiqullah Atal, who is yet to open his account. He's played out 2 dot balls, and he cannot afford that many, not in this format. As that is one more catch. He tried to guide it to the leg side for a boundary that is caught by Marco Janssen as Afghans lose their third wicket in the form of Sadiqullah Atal. Well, what a turnaround this has been. There was a time when it looked like the power play would go for 70 or 75 runs, but not a single run. Only two runs have been scored after that in the last eight deliveries as Gurbaz looks on hopelessly at the other end as he is running out of partners. He has lost three of them so far. I don't know what Sadiqullah Atal was trying to do there because there was a fielder placed exactly for that shot. Anyways, Rabada gets his first wicket as the score stands at 52 for 3 at the end of 5.2 overs. The next few batsmen will have to consolidate around Gurbaz. Let Gurbaz do the hitting while you give him the strike. That should be the approach. Do not try anything fancy because Afghanistan are still in with a great chance. 188 ही करने हैं बहुत ज्यादा रन्स नहीं है but that is still a long way to go as Afghanistan need 136 in 88 balls and someone will have to dig in anchor as we go for a drinks break before the power play is over. It is hot out there. आने वाले सारे बैट्समैन को अब सूझबूझ से काम लेना होगा as that Afghanistan warm looks flat in a span of 8 balls. Wow, what a turnaround that has been triggered by Lungi Ngidi, who took two wickets in the previous over, and Rabada follows it up with yet another wicket. It looked like Afghanistan were racing towards a total and it would be a 75 run power play. But so far it's been 52 for 3. Three quick wickets. They have to be more practical here. All other batsmen now have to play around Gurbaz, who has to play for another 8 to 10 overs. The next batsman is Darvish Rasuli, and he has only one job: take a single and give Gurbaz the strike. That is all he needs to do. Do not try anything cute, do not try anything fancy, because this match is still in the grip of Afghanistan, as the current run rate is still greater than the required run rate, even after all those three wickets. Darvish Rasuli faces KG Rabada, and he flicks it to the leg side. That will be at least two runs with an attempt to three, and that is some great running as they finish 3 runs. Great running. And Gurbaz gets the strike after a long time. He was stranded on one end as he ran out of partners. Gurbaz takes a single. It looks like he will temper his approach for a while because he cannot take unnecessary risks because three wickets have already fallen very early in the power play. He is essential to Afghanistan's cause. Darvish again attempts that flick through the leg side, but this time it's only a dot ball. So far, only five of this over. These last two overs have yielded only 6 runs after the first 4 overs yielded 50. What a turnaround. A must win match for Afghanistan, and they will be well aware of it as Darvish Rasooli attempts a wild slog off the bowling of KG Rabada, but it goes safely to the wicketkeeper, and the power play ends at 56 for 3. Well, I would have said it was a par score so far, but the problem is these 56 runs have come at a cost. 3 wickets have fallen, 3 top order wickets, but on the positive side, Gurbaz still manages to remain on strike. He is still at the crease, and Afghanistan will depend heavily on him as we see Keshav Maharaj for the first time. Will Gurbaz take his chances against Keshav Maharaj? We'll have to wait and watch. He attempts to drill it down the covers, but it is intercepted by the fielder as that is a dot ball. Keshav Maharaj is known for his disciplined bowling. He doesn't really give away many freebies. Gurbaz attempts a sweep, and this time he's successful partially as he gets 2 runs. That was some good fielding in the deep. KG Rabada over there, very athletic fielder. The score moves to 58 for 3. And for the first time in this match, the required run rate is more than the current run rate. Another fine shot by Gurbaz, and he takes another couple of runs. That's a smart approach. He cannot be taking too many risks at that point of time because if he is out, then the Afghan innings will be completely derailed. He has to make it a point to play along with the other batsmen and stitch together a vital partnership, as that is a wide by Keshav Maharaj. Oh, that is a single in the account of Gurbaz as Darvish gets the strike. Coming up later today at 3 p.m. is Australia versus Ireland, while at 7 p.m. in Mumbai, we will see England take on West Indies. Will Ireland be able to pull off the mother of all upsets as Darvish takes a single 7 of this over so far from 5? A decent over for Afghanistan and some disciplined bowling by Keshav Maharaj, who is offering no freebies. Will Gurbaz be able to close this over with a bang? He tries to power it along the covers, but only for a single 8 runs of the over, as the score stands at 64 for 3 at the end of 7. There is still a good amount of firepower left in the Afghan ranks. There are batsmen who are totally capable of hitting sixes. There is Rashid Khan, there is Muhammad Nabi, there is Azmatullah Omarzai. All of them very capable hitters, but I think this innings will revolve around Remanullah Gurbaz, who is on a strike. He puts it in the air. That was hit with a lot of power, and that goes 20 rows back in the stands for a fantastic six. That is an amazing shot. So far, George Linder has been absolutely ineffective and he has conceded 23 from his 7 balls. And Gurbaz has been the prime aggressor, showing him zero respect. Ibrahim Zadran also attempted a couple of boundaries and was successful. Comes in for his second ball as Gurbaz defends it for a dot ball. He's on 47 of 25 and he has been the prime engine of this Afghan innings right so far. The boiler room, you can say. That is yet another aggressive shot by Gurbaz, and he gets the maximum for his efforts, and he reaches 50 in absolute style. That was a six through covers, and Remanullah Gurbaz has 53 from 26. What a timely innings for his team. He looks determined to take his team to victory. A must-win game for Afghanistan. And George Linder, well, he hasn't had the best of days so far. Guided towards the leg side for a single as the score reaches 77 for 3. Even though they have lost 3 wickets, it has been a very healthy run rate. They are scoring at 10 and over, and the required run rate is only 9. And all of this has happened because of the efforts of Rehmanullah Gurbaz, who is defiant. But he wouldn't want to be the lone warrior as he expects some support from his partner Darvish Rasuli as he guides one towards the field for a single and gives the strike back to Gurbaz. One more over left for George Linder, who has so far gone for 30 runs in 1.5 overs. A forgettable outing so far. They have clearly picked their target. Let's see if he manages to close out the over with a bang. He doesn't, he chooses the practical option and takes only a single to retain the strike at the end of 8 overs. Afghanistan 79 for 3. In case you have missed the action, Afghanistan made a very powerful start to the chase, reaching 50 runs in just 4 overs. But then there was sort of a turnaround as Lugia Ngidi picked 2 wickets and Rabada picked one to send 3 batsmen away to the pavilion. But Gurbaz is still standing strong like a bull, and he is scoring them at a fast click, 54 from 28 so far, single-handedly taking the game to the opposition. The job is cut out for them. 109 needed of 72, as that is guided to a single by Gurbaz. Darvish Sisuri has his task cut out very clearly. He just has to support Gurbaz and not try anything funny because the runs will come as long as Gurbaz is at the crease. But it looks like he is following a different memo as he took a wild heel at Keshav Maharaj delivery, and Gurbaz attempts to calm him down. They don't really need to go after every delivery right now because the required run rate is only 9.2, and it is fine if they have a quiet over or two. They can still pull back. They don't need to panic at all because of the heroics of Gurbaz, the current run rate is still a healthy 9.5. As Keshav Maharaj comes into bowl his fourth delivery, and that is given a wide by the umpire. That is just beyond the wide marker. Maharaj doesn't look very happy about it, but he doesn't have an option. He has to go back to the crease and bowl. Darvish attempts a pull, but can only get a single. Has two deliveries remain in the over, and Gurbaz is on strike. Will he take his chances against Keshav Maharaj, or will we wait for some other bowler? It's not very easy to hit Keshav Maharaj for sixes because he is very disciplined with his line and length. Gurbaz takes a single. So far, this over has given away only 4 runs. Only 4 runs so far. As the last ball of the over, Darvish Rasuli hits it through the covers for a single. 5 runs of the over, and the score stands at 84 for 3 at the end of 9. The chase is on, ladies and gentlemen, and it looks like we are in for an exciting match. Ramanul Gurbaz has been the engine of this batting effort so far with 56 of 30, and the fall of wickets have not stopped his aggressive approach. Will he do it for Afghanistan? He has to do it for Afghanistan as it is a must-win match. अफगानिस्तान को ये मैच जीतना ही पड़ेगा. Marco Jansen returns to the crease again as Darvish Rasuli will face him. He has so far scored 7 of 9 balls. He's yet to get going. But again, I would like to repeat, well. A straight shot over the head of Marco Jansen, and they take only a single. Darvish doesn't really need to do anything funny, anything cute. He has to keep supporting Gurbaz, who is doing his job perfectly fine. So far, the current run rate and the required run rate are at parity. Marco Jansen runs in for his second delivery, and Gurbaz takes a single. A sensible approach. You don't need to go after every single delivery. Two runs of this over so far, 4 deliveries to go, and this has been the partnership that Afghanistan needed after the loss of those 3 wickets. 34 from 24 deliveries. This is a dot ball as Marco Jensen making full advantage of his height to generate awkward dance. Marco Jansen runs in for his fifth delivery as it is taken for a single by Rasuli as Gurbaz gets the strike again. 101 required from 62 balls. They have to take a sensible approach till the 15th over, after which they will have to re-evaluate the situation. Will they be able to do it? This looks like this is going to be a thriller of a match. Like I said before, they have firepower to go in their innings with Rashid Khan, Mohammad Nabi, and Asmatullah Omar Zai, all of them capable of hitting the big shots. But the main man is Gurbaz, and he's on strike right now. And he plays an inside out shot over the covers for a boundary, a welcome boundary, matches the momentum, and the score is now 91 for 3. What an incredible shot. Just delicately placed it, and there was only one way the ball would go. Plenty of Afghanistan fans in the stands, and they will be looking with great expectation at Rahmanullah Gurbaz. He has been the vital cog in this inning so far, and South Africa will be looking to dismiss him. He guides the ball towards the third man and picks up 2 runs, so a productive over, 9 runs of it, as the score reaches 93 for 3 at the end of 10. This is a must win game for Afghanistan, and if they do a win today, that will blow the group wide open because then it will come down to the net run rate. This is called the group of death with Afghanistan, New Zealand, and South Africa in the same group, and only two of them can go to the Super 8s. Keshav Maharaj returns as he is greeted by a single by Darvish, who is doing the right thing. He's doing exactly what he needs to do, give the strike to Gurbaz as much as he can. Just give the strike to Gurbaz and look from the other end as he lets this one go, and it is again called a wide. Another decision that Keshav Maharaj is not happy with. He was not happy with a wide given in the previous over, and same happens now. That was delicately played towards the fielder for a single, and there was a time when the win predictor was showing a 75% probability for South Africa, but now that has come down to only 58%, as Darvis attempts an aggressive shot, but it is mistimed and falls short of the fielder to take a single. The strike is back to Gurbaz, who is looking in imperious touch. If Afghanistan has to win the game, Gurbaz will have to play a solid role, and he already has played a solid role as he wisely takes a single. That has been a sensible inning so far because he's not going after every delivery. He is taking his chances, he's picking his targets. He's targeted George Lenda, but he's giving full respect to Keshav Maharaj, and that is exactly the way they need to bat. The Afghanistan teams of earlier used to be aggressive in their approach, but not the most practical because they would go after every delivery. And sometimes it would come off, but sometimes it wouldn't. But this is exactly what they need to do. Just play sensibly, build a partnership, which they have. This is a remarkable partnership of 47 from 33. Gurbaz takes a single again at the end of 11 overs. Afghanistan are 100 for the loss of 3 wickets. They need 88 from 54, and that this game is poised very nicely. It promises to be a thriller. And Afghanistan simply have to do it to stay in the tournament because this is a must win game for them. A must win game for Afghanistan. And after losing the first game to New Zealand, this will keep them alive in the tournament and it might come down to net run rate. They still have some firepower left with Mohammad Nabi, Rashid Khan, and Azmatullah Omarzai, all capable of hitting the big shots. South Africans attempt a change. The captain brings himself on, Aiden Markram. Is it a ploy? Is it he has a reputation as a partnership breaker, but does he want to tempt Ramanullah Gurbaz into doing something fancy? And will Gurbaz take the bait? The required run rate is 9.78. It is still in a comfortable range. Let's see what approach Gurbaz takes against Aiden Markram. Just glance to the leg side for a single as he gives the strike to Darvish. Gurbaz has been playing this innings with a lot of maturity. He is not blindly slogging away at every delivery. He is picking his chances, he's targeting the right bowlers, and he's taking the singles and twos wherever required. He's not keeping the scoreboard idle, which is the reason why they are at 101 for 3. As Darvish fights it into the air, but it falls short of the fielder. Another single. They are starting to put the South Africans under pressure because they will have to produce a wicket now. As Gurbaz sweeps it towards the boundary for yet another four, he powers along to 71 of 38 balls, and there is plenty of determination on the face of the Afghans. They are pumped up. They are on a mission. They have to win this match. They have to win this match to stay in the tournament. It's a matter of survival right now. And they are not only surviving, but they are thriving as Gurbaz takes a single and the score moves to 107 for 3. The required run rate is only 9.7 and where it has remained for a while because the scoreboard is moving. They're taking the singles and the occasional boundary. As Darvish attempts a sweep that goes to the fielder. So far, this over has yielded 8 runs, which is at par. Will he attempt a big shot to close the over? Ramanullah Gurbaz. He attempts a wild sweep and he gets a maximum for it. 6 runs to Ramanullah Gurbaz, who moves to 78 of 40. And the score is now 114 for 3. I would go so far as to say that Afghanistan is in the driver's seat. What an innings this has been. I think so far this has been, after Surya Kumar Yadav's innings, this looks to be the innings of the World Cup so far. When his team has needed him the most, he has delivered. Keshav Maharaj resumes to bowl the last over of his spell. He has been very economical, only 20 of 3, and they have treated him with respect as well. Rasuri doing the right thing and taking a single, that's all he needs to do. Give the strike to Rahmanullah Gurbaz. They just need to be sensible, not try anything fancy because The required run rate is lesser than the current run rate. Required run rate is 9.3, and we just need to keep ticking. An attempted slog by Gurbaz, and that is a six, goes over the boundary and fielder misses it. What a six. 84 Gurbaz now. What a shot that was. All power. He's displaying all the experience he has from playing the big leagues, including the IPL. He is single handedly taking his team towards victory. They are firmly in the driver's seat right now. And he is out. Just as I was saying that he is taking them to victory, Rahmanullah Gurbaz throws away his wicket. That was quite unnecessary because there was already a six from the over, and that was a fantastic diving catch. Gurbaz has to depart at the score of 84. Afghanistan is 121 for 4. That was unnecessary. Gurbaz needed to be there till the end, and what a catch that was. What a fantastic catch. A diving catch, and he is unable to pull himself off the field. With He's extremely disappointed. The next batsman on the crease is Osmatullah. He possesses a lot of power as well, as the Afghans now need 67 of 45. Will they manage to pull it off? The main engine room of the innings has disappeared to the pavilion. Rahmanullah Gurbaz is out, but after playing his part of a stellar innings of 84, he did not need to attempt that shot, but what is done is now done. You live by the sword, you die by it. And now Omarzai comes out to the crease, very capable of hitting the big shots. And they do not need too many big shots, to be honest, because the required run rate is around the 9. They are very firmly on track. They just need to be sensible and take each over from 9 to 10 overs. That's all they need, really. And 7 have already come off this over, so they do not need to panic. Afghanistan do not need to be panicked. They just need to be sensible, and they will win. As that is a dot ball, and that is also a run out. Oh my God. This innings is heading for self destruction. That was absolutely unnecessary as Asmatullah hit the ball towards the fielder. There was absolutely no single there. But for some reason, Darvish Rasuli thought there was a single as he ran towards the other end for no reason whatsoever. That was complete harakiri. And that was expertly done by Keshav Maharaj. And that is a run out. And he will have to go back to the pavilion. Fifth wicket falls as Afghanistan is now reduced to 121 for 5. Mind you, they are still in the game in terms of run rate. But the last two wickets, well, you only have to blame the Afghans for that. Especially this one. That was an unwanted run out. Absolutely unwanted run out. Why would you do that? It's such a critical position. Why would you risk a quick single when none exists? They have to keep their nerves here. As the experienced Muhammad Nabi joins Omarzai, these two are perfectly capable of taking their side to victory. But they have to stitch a partnership now. They cannot afford to be complacent. It is fine if a couple of quiet overs go by because they have the run rate on their side. It's a very healthy run rate right now, and good courtesy Gurbaz. And Mohammad Nabi has been there, done that. 41 years of age. He has been representing Afghanistan for over 20 years now, and he has seen a lot of these situations. As the over finishes for seven, but two crucial wickets have fallen. Maharaj looks happy as the score is 121 for 5 at the end of 13. With overs to go, they have to moderate their approach now. One of these two will have to look for the boundaries whenever the opportunity presents itself, while the other has to take the singles and twos. That's the only way to do it. Please do not try anything fancy. There's only one batsman left, and that is the Rashid Khan. If they lose any more wickets, it will get extremely difficult for them. These two need to put on a partnership. And this is where the experience of South Africa comes in handy. Their fielding is on point, and I repeat that last run out was absolutely unnecessary. That was a suicidal run out. Why would you do that when you need just 9 runs and over? There seems to be some issue with Mohammad Nabi, who is taking it up with the umpire. Not quite sure what that is about. He seems to be really angry about something. I wonder what that is. We will get more clarity in a while. And this over is still yet to start. With Nabi having some issue, was there some sledging? Okay, so now there is some clarity. Nabi wanted Engidi to take off his wristband because he can't spot the ball. Umpires intervene, but the war of words continue. Markram comes in to diffuse the tension, because ultimately Engidi does not take off the wristband, but he does concede 2 runs, quick 2 runs, and Nabi is a very quick batsman for someone who is 41 years old. He's very quick between the wickets. We have to leave these distractions behind and focus on what is a very achievable target right now. 65 from 41, they can absolutely do it. As he deflects it towards the leg side for a single, that's what they need to do. Be sensible, take the singles and twos, and take the boundaries whenever the opportunity presents itself. Rahmanullah Gurbaz's innings is the reason Afghanistan are still in the hunt. 84 runs from 48. What an innings from 42, I'm sorry. A perfect strike rate of 200, exactly what the team needed from him. And he is now on the list for the most runs in this World Cup, led by Team Seifert at 1 and Farhan at number 2. He is now number 3. Gurbaz. As Azmat takes a strike, he is yet to open his account, and he does it now with a single of Rangiri. 63 required of 39 now. They just need one big shot and over, and they will comfortably cruise towards the target. South Africans have to keep the nerve and they have to keep believing because it is only a matter of wicket, which will bring Rashid Khan onto the crease, and after that, there is only the tail. Oh, that was another mix up. Well. They have to be very careful here because run out is the last thing they need. They do not have to go for every single because the required run rate is still very much under control. This has been a very top-heavy inning so far because Gurbaz has scored bulk of the runs, but if someone else will have to step in now, and Mohammad Nabi is perfectly capable of that. He has seen many situations in the past where his team needed him, and he has played match-winning cameos. And so has Asmatullah Omarzai. A lot depends on these two. Will they try and close out the over with a boundary? Logie Angidi, by the way, has bowled a fantastic spell so far. 2 for 19 of 3. In the context of the match, that is brilliant. Only 6 and over. As they take another single to take the score to 127 for 5 at the end of 14. As they need 61 from 36 now. This game is still very much in the balance. I would place it at 50-50 right now. If they get a big over in here somehow, that will put the pressure firmly back on South Africa. This game is very much in the grasp of Afghanistan, and it is a must-win game for them. Will the experienced players take them over the line? And these are fine players, the two of them, Azmadullah and Mohammad Nabi, both of them capable of hitting sixes. They will have to target the weak link, but the question is, who is the weak link? I don't think Markram will attempt to bowl George Linder again. So that leaves them to negotiate KG Rabada, Lungi Ngidi, and Marco Janssen. Not very easy bowlers to hit. Not very easy bowlers to hit. Afghanistan still needs 61 from 36 at a required run rate of 10. As things stand, Afghanistan are third on the table, and a defeat now will almost certainly knock them out from the World Cup. Unless UAE and Canada manage an upset or two. And I don't really see that happening, to be fair to them. With all due respect to UAE and Canada. Well, let's see if they regroup after the drinks break, because the last two wickets were an unexpected blow, especially the wicket of Gurbaz. If he had been on the crease till now, this would have been a completely different story with Afghanistan firm favourites. If they get a big over now, and by big I don't mean 20-25 run over, even a 15 run over right now, that will put a lot of pressure on South Africa. As Marco Janssen takes the ball in his hands, South Africa versus England 2014. That was quite a humdinger. Marco Janssen starts off with a dot ball. Azmatullah has looked a bit scratchy so far with only 2 runs from 6 balls. He has to find his groove because there is not a lot of time to go, and the dot balls will only keep making the required run rate higher. They have to look for one big shot every over. But most importantly, they have to keep their heads cool. Do not attempt rash shots. As he sends one past the bowler for a single, which brings Nabi onto the strike. 60 required of 34 now. Will they be able to pull it off? They have to stay alive in this World Cup. And it is not out of the grasp yet because the required run rate is only 10.5 in fact. Very much in control and not a big deal in modern T20 cricket at all. There was a time in cricket when a required run rate of 7 to 8 used to be considered unachievable, but times have changed rapidly in the last 20 years since the inception of the first ICC Cricket World Cup. These are modern times and no required run rate is considered out of bounds. Azmat faces Marco Jansen again. He has looked scratchy so far as he guides it towards a boundary with a delicate late glance. A very welcome boundary for Afghanistan as that takes them to 133 for 5. And the over has yielded 6 runs so far. That will give some confidence to Azmat. They are very much in the hunt. I would say the game is at even Stevens right now. Jansen is in some deep discussion with his captain Aiden Markram. They cannot afford to let another boundary go off this over because that would really put Afghanistan in a comfortable position. And he attempts another aggressive shot as it reaches the fielder. They have enough time to run two. A productive over so far for Afghanistan as it is 8 of the over so far. Will they finish it with a bang? 53 required of 31 now for Afghanistan to win and stay alive in this World Cup. Yes, this is a battle for their existence. A defeat now and they are out of the World Cup. And the millions of Afghan fans would be praying that it doesn't happen as Azmat crashes one through the covers for a boundary inside out. That went like a tracer bullet towards the boundary. What a shot. Azmat has got his groove back as Afghanistan reach 139 for 5, 49 of 30 required now. This looks like this is going to be a thriller. The required run rate is still 9.8, still very much under control. All courtesy the exceptional innings of Remanullah Gurbaz who scored 84. If you are just joining us, please consider leaving a like and a subscribe. Your support matters a lot. I'll be covering almost all games of the World Cup in English primarily, as this is a very surprise bowling chain. George Lenda gets the ball and he has had a miserable outing so far. He has conceded 31 from 2 overs. 31 of 2 overs and he gets the ball right now. Well. This looks very interesting. This could be the make or break over for either team. And they will be looking to target him. Mohammad Nabi attempts a 6, but it only flies in the air, and that is a very easy catch for the captain. The gamble worked. They knew that both the batsmen would go after George Linder, And Mohammad Nabi is now out. He has to go back to the pavilion, and this will bring Rashid Khan onto the crease, the very capable Rashid Khan, who more than knows how to handle a bat. That was an inspired choice. In fact, I thought that was not a brilliant move because Linda has been very expensive so far. And at this stage of the game, an expensive over by Linda could put South Africa out of the equation. However, it looks like they have got their just rewards for the gamble. But on the flip side, Afghanistan are still very much in the game because of their run rate. This match is still very much in their grasp as Rashid Khan comes to the crease, capable of hitting the big shots. But as a captain, he will now have some responsibility over his head. He will have to guide his team to safety as Azmat on the other end will attempt some big hits of Linda because they will have to get at least 12 of this over because there is Rabada and Ngidi to come and it won't be that easy to hit the big shots off of them. Let's see how they face George Linda. That is a single. There wasn't much Azmat could do about it. And what a comeback by Linda after being tonked for 31 of his first 2 overs, courtesy Gurbaz. Rashid Khan on strike. Will he attempt a big shot? He attempts a sweep that goes for 4. That will do nicely. What a fine sweep shot. Effortless. As that takes the score to 145 for 6. A fine sweep shot. He knew where the fielders were, and he had no problem dispatching it to the boundaries. 6 of the overs so far with the required run rate steady at 9.92. Afghanistan just has to take a practical approach and believe. They have to believe in themselves that they will keep their nerves as he gets ready to face the fifth delivery. And that is guided to the fielder for a single. 7 of the overs so far. These two have to be at the crease till the end. There's no question about it because this is the last recognized batting pair. Let's see what Asmat does with the last ball. Well, he only takes a single as the score moves to 147 for 6. At the end of 16 with 4 overs to go, the game very much in the balance. Rabada has been at his best in this game so far. Normally you expect him to be very impactful in the power play. Let's see if he can close out the game for South Africa in the death overs. Even if they win today, Afghanistan, they will still be at number three because they are not very well poised with respect to net run rate, but they will have their chances against UAE and Canada to recover their required run rate. As Azmat takes the strike against Rabada, manages a single, they will need a big shot every over, at least one. And these two have to stick around till the end because otherwise it will be the tail enders at the crease. And I don't think the South Africans will allow them to run riot. Rashid Khan takes a wild heave at it. That's a fantastic pull shot for four. He is keeping them in the game. They need 36 of 22 now. Every boundary will put the pressure back on South Africa. They're fighting with a spirit. They have to do this to stay alive in this World Cup. Will they keep their nerves and excel in these last four overs? Rashid Khan does not manage to take a single because that was fielded before they could run, but that's fine. 5 runs have come so far of the first three balls. If they find a way to get another 5 or 6, they will be at par. They will be at par. What a shot that is. Delicately guided it behind the wicket keeper. Rashid Khan has pumped some new energy into this Afghanistan innings and he has changed the equation. They need only 32 of 20 now. The pressure firmly back on South Africa. What a fine out that is. Even top order batsmen would be proud of that. That is exactly how you play a wide Yorker. He takes a slog at it and can manage to get a single. So this over has yielded 10 runs so far with one ball left to go. Exactly what was required of Afghanistan, and they are remaining in the hunt. They have to believe they can do this because this game is within their grasp. Only 31 needed now. Azmatullah on strike against a KG Rabada, and he bunts it to the fielder for a single. After 17 overs, Afghanistan 158 for 6 with another 30 required of 18 balls. The game is going to be a thriller. They have lost wickets at regular intervals, yes, but such was the impact of Gurbaz's innings that they were always on top of the required run rate. Not for once did it feel like the required run rate is going to overwhelm them. Such was the impact of that brilliant innings. The equation is straight now. 30 required of 18 and Ngidi runs into ball. The game hangs in the balance. Oh, that is a full toss. That is pulled away for four by Azmat. Will that be a no ball as well? Will that be a no ball? It will have to be checked for height. That's a four nonetheless, and what a fantastic start to the over. I think it is of advantage Afghanistan now. Was it above waist height? Aiden Markram looks very disturbed. The pressure is firmly on South Africa now because the, fin- the final total is within sight for Afghanistan, and they do the sensible thing by taking a single. Yes, the destination is very much within sight as they need only 25 of 16 now. They have to keep their nerves about them. Afghanistan, they cannot afford to lose a wicket now because that would derail the entire chase, but the chase is fully on. These two can absolutely manage to score 25 of 16. Just try, don't try to do anything too fancy. Just keep your nerves. And that's a dot ball, which is perfectly fine. Do not panic now. Runs have already come off this over and they have three more balls. Just one thing they have to ensure, don't leave too many for the end, for the last over. If they leave something like 8 for the last over, that would absolutely put the pressure back on South Africa. And they will have to do all the thinking as Ngidi runs into bowl his fourth. And that is negotiated for a single. Very sensible batting. All the Afghan fans are looking on with tense faces. They are anticipating victory, but will there be a twist in this tale? As the table stands, New Zealand top with 4 points and South Africa with two. Well, Afghanistan is yet to open their account, but after this victory, they will have their 2 points. But the required run rate is still in the negative, and I don't think it will change much if this is a tight game. So they will have to score their run rate from UAE and Canada. That is lofted it to the air. And what a catch that is, right at the boundary. Oh my goodness, they will have to check if the foot brushed the boundary line. Azmatullah Omarzai needs a crane to take him off the field, but the South Africans are looking very confident. 6 more inches, and that would have been a six. But it was not to be. We will still have a look at the catch. It was a slog that almost resulted in a six, and very effectively done by Tristan Stubbs, who is a beast in that area. He is not known to drop any catches. Now it is up to Rashid Khan to do it. Omarzai departs for 22 of 17, and that must have given a fresh burst of confidence to South Africa. It was looking like the game was drifting away from them, but that was a very timely wicket. And what a fantastic catch again. Tristan Stubbs. He always patrols the boundary at this stage of the innings, and he has pulled up some incredible catches over the years. And this will rank right among them as Mujibur Rahman joins Rashid Khan. His job is simple, just give the strike to Rashid Khan. That is all. 24 of 13 required. And he defends it. Wisely done. 6 of the over as 24 runs are required of 12 balls. Raymond Gurbaz was looking distraught in the dugout, but he doesn't quite have reason to be dejected yet, as Rashid Khan is still at the crease, and he will be on strike in the next over. And it is only 24 runs to get. 16 of 9 Rashid Khan so far. Will he pull it off for his team? Will he play a captain's knock? Let's see as Marco Janssen runs into ball and Rashid Khan hits it straight down the ground and manages to pick 4 runs. There's a polite inquiry of a run out, but looks like Mujib has made his ground safely. 2 runs taken off the first ball as Afghanistan now need 22 of 11. Will they, won't they? They need a couple of big shots from Rashid Khan's bat right now, preferably in this over because they cannot leave too many to get in the last. That is just too much pressure. As the pressure is throwing on Marco Jansen as he balls a wide. 21 left to get in 11 balls. A defeat here would complicate things for South Africa because they will be at the mercy of run rate, even if they win their remaining 2 encounters. And they have a big one coming up against New Zealand. Rashid Khan takes a wild swing at it and it runs over the fielder, so almost reaches the boundary. Just enough for him to get a double. Fine start to the over so far by Afghanistan as they take 5 of the first 2 legitimate deliveries. It looks like we have a man down. While attempting to field, we'll have to see who it is. As Markram approaches Jansen to have a discussion, that was George Linde, who looks like he injured his foot as he was sliding down to save the boundary. If he did be good for his team, the boundary would have proved costly for South Africa here as they need 19 of 10 balls. 19 of 10 required as he goes off the field. And the equation is simple now 19 required of 10 balls with a Rashid Khan still on strike. He would look for a big hit because that would help Afghanistan face less pressure in the last over. He will try to go after every loose delivery. And that's what he does as he hoiks one in the air. And Tristan Stubbs takes another stunner. That is David Miller, in fact. Is that it for the Afghanistan innings? A very disappointing end to Rashid Khan's fight. He had to go for the shot, and he did, but that was some exceptional work in the deep by David Miller. What a catch! These are not easy to take, but he made it look effortless. What an incredible catch, I must say. Rashid Khan departs for 20 of 12. Well played, Rashid. It is now up to Mujibur Rahman and the 2 tailenders to finish the job. Gurbaz looks extremely disappointed in the dugout. The game is still not over. It is not over till it's over. Couple of big hits, and the game will change right now. It is Noor Ahmed who joins Mujib on the crease with a 19 still to win of 9 balls. Let's see if he can manage to pull off a miracle. He goes for the 6 straight away. It is in the air and it crosses the boundary line into the stands. That is a fantastic sixer. What a shot by Noor Ahmed. First ball facing Marco Jansen, and absolutely no trouble hitting him for 6 right over his head. What a shot. Make no mistake, Afghanistan is still very much in the game. Another powerful hit right now, and it will be South Africa sweating. Two balls still to go in this over, as a Noor Ahmed guides it to the fielder, and they do not take a single, they refuse it. Rightly so, because they simply cannot afford a run out at this stage. A sensible approach is needed. 13 of 7 is totally doable. Will he manage to score on the boundary of the last ball? If he does it, it will be advantage of Afghanistan as they run off for a quick single, but it ends in a run out as Marco Jansen is very quick to hit the stumps, as that leaves Afghanistan reeling at 175 for 9 with 13 to go of the last over with a Noor Ahmed on strike. The last batsman to join him will be Fazalak Farooqi. They have absolutely no room for error now, Afghanistan. They cannot lose another wicket. 13 runs to get. Will Noor Ahmed be able to do it? That first shot was very confident, by the way. Will they be able to shock South Africa? They have brought them very close. They are still fighting after 19 overs. But South Africa will start out as favorites in the last over because they just need a wicket. While Afghanistan need at least a couple of big shots at Noor Ahmed gets ready to face the bowler KG Rabada. The ball flies in the air, and that is a simple catch. That is the end of the game. There will be no upset, there will be no miracle. As South Africa finally prevail for a clinical, oh my goodness, that's a twist in the tail. That is a no ball. That is a no ball. There is still life in this game, ladies and gentlemen. Do not go anywhere. Do not leave your seats. That is a no ball, and that is a free hit. He overstepped the line, and that also gives one extra run to Afghanistan. And they need only 12 now. 12 of 6. If a Noor manages a 6 of this ball, well, you will see that is a wide. Oh my God, what is Rabada doing? The free hit still remains, and they now only need 11 of 6. What a final over this is turning out to be. This game is still alive, and they need only 11 now. Will they be able to do it against KG Rabada? And Noor Ahmed tonks it straight to the fielder, but it is a free hit, so it doesn't matter. A catch doesn't matter, and they decide not to run. It will be Noor on strike. They have decided that it will be Noor to do whatever he can in the next 5 balls. And he needs only two big hits, to be honest. He needs to connect only 2 times out of 5, and that is completely on the cards. Let's see if Ramada allows him to do it. He takes a wild slog, and that would be 6 runs. Would you believe it? Would you believe it? This is unbelievable what I'm seeing right now. Oh my goodness. That was an effortless 6 by Noor Ahmed. Will he be able to do it? Only 5 required now to keep Afghanistan alive in this match, in this World Cup. He needs only one hit in 4 balls. The pressure is firmly on KG Rabada. He is only one big hit away. That was a mix up for a while and could have easily been a run out, but they keep their nerves, and that is not a run out. 5 of 3 required. 4 to enforce a super over. Will they manage to do it? Oh, no, Ahmed. All the Afghans must be looking at him with a plenty of hope. As he hoiks another one into the air, they are pushing for 2, and they get 2. They manage to get 2, and that is another no ball by KG Rabada. That is another free hit, and now the Afghans need only 2 runs for victory and only one for super over. Oh my goodness, this game has completely changed. Noor Ahmed cannot get out in this ball because it is a free hit, and he has the license to go for it and to finish the game. Will he do it? It will be an iconic cameo, an all-timer, if Noor Ahmed manages to do it. Oh my goodness, what a twist in the tale. This game was done and dusted long ago.